Hello, Rasika. After a short while,
Hi,
திருப்பி
Amma.
கான்வர்சேஷன்ல ஜாயின் பண்ண
Really short break. ஆமா நீயும்
சரி,
எல்லாத்தையும்
இப்போ உன்னுடைய அவார்டு பத்தி நம்ம மேஜரா பேசலாம் ரசிகா. பிகாஸ் நம்ம சொந்தக்காரல நிறைய பேரு என்னமோ அவார்டா மேடி, என்ன அவார்டு எனக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிடுன்னு கேப்பா. என்னதான் நான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச லெவல்ல சொன்னா கூட
அவளுக்கு திருப்தி ஆக மாட்டேங்கிறது.
உனக்கு ஒருத்தருக்கு போன் பண்ணி சொல்றதுக்கும் டைம் இருக்காது. அப்போ நீ இந்த பாட்காஸ்ட்ல அதை பத்தி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணியானாக்கா ரெஃபரன்ஸ் பாட்காஸ்ட் பாத்துக்கோ அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லிடலாம்.
பாட்காஸ்ட் பாத்துக்கோன்னு இல்ல, நியாயப்படி ஒருத்தருக்கும் போன் பண்ணி சொல்லணும். ஏன்னா இதுல எல்லாருக்கும் பங்குண்டு. ஆனா சமயம் சந்தர்ப்பம்னு ஒரு பிரதி இதுல இருக்குல்ல.
நீ தமிழ்ல சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறமா அதையே இங்கிலீஷ்லயும் சொல்லு. உன்னோட ஸ்கூல் டீச்சர்ஸ்க்கும் நான் அதை அனுப்புவேன் இந்த பாட்காஸ்ட.
Okay, we'll do a bit of a mix and match.
Some of your teachers asked.
Okay, உன்னோட ஸ்டேட்டஸ் எல்லாம் பாத்திருப்பாங்க.
ஆமா.
Actually, I should have called and told them, but constraints. But I will do that. Some point, I will definitely call and seek their blessings. But yes, the thing is, எனக்கு வந்திருக்கிற award is called Freedom of the City of London. ஃப்ரீடம் வந்தவங்கள ஃப்ரீ மேன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இப்போ ஃப்ரீடம் ஆஃப் த சிட்டி ஆஃப் லண்டன் அப்படிங்கிறது வாட் இஸ் இட் அப்படின்னா 1271 AD இதோட முதல் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ இட்ஸ் கம்மிங் டவுன் ஃப்ரம் pretty much ages, feudalistic medieval agesலேருந்து வருது. And the concept is when you get so freedom started as a privilege for someone to be able to given a license to trade in the country and own a business, own sheep, own start their handle their cash. So அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு, அதாவது நான் menial non slave kind of jobs பண்றதுக்கு இல்ல peasant. இப்போ விவசாயியே there is a actually when you are given the freedom of London, even now hundreds of years down the line they call you peasants no more. That means a farmer is an owner of a land. Peasant is a person who works for the farmer for a salary. So it is like raitu and kauludaru. Okay, so for someone to not, by default everybody would have taken that kaulu. I mean, working for a big farmer. Okay, but for somebody to be a farmer themselves, own a piece of land, even if it is 1 cent of land, they have to be a freeman. So on the freeman அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன, what is it அப்படின்னா, it is a distinction to say that you are an honorable person in the society, you are capable of holding what you hold. And sheep was the bloodline of British economy in medieval ages, like cow is the bloodline of the Indian economy. Because and as they say, depending on how many ever cows you've got, you're considered wealthy or not wealthy or whatever it is. So Andamari, with sheep, we had this in England, the number of sheep you own determines your wealth. So to be able to own a sheep, you need to be given freedom. So that was not just for at that level. Freedom means you are part of the king's court, you are part of the darbar. Okay, and at what level of darbar degrees vary, but there is, see, predominantly there are the freedom thing was more of a process to establish yourself as an independent person in the society. It was a journey towards self-respect. That's how it started. Later, what happened is they started bringing scholars, poets, courtiers, everybody into the freedom category, it became a distinguished honor where you have to show some extraordinary prowess in something, whereupon you are bestowed the freedom of the city of London. So city of London is a very interesting thing. It's not like today it's all one and all. You've got 6 zones. London is massive big city, but in the ancient time, uh, there was a city area. City area is where all the trade and the businesses and all those things used to happen. Westminster area, Westminster, Chelsea, these were the royal kings, ministers, courtiers area. So it was all clearly bifurcated. London was not so enormous. Nowadays, a lot of suburbs have become part of London. So 100 years ago, places that would not have been part of London are now today part of London city. So that way it's grown. But the core trading area. So as you know, London's called the financial capital of the world. That comes from this ancient city belt. Yeah, that's coming from the medieval ages, where all the trades, all the businesses, all the money making used to happen. All the major banks are there. All the world's best banks. It's called the financial district. So it's got a nickname as well, the financial district. So all the banks, all the investments, everything, the economy runs from there basically for the city of London. So nowadays, a lot of the ancient trades have disappeared. Like there used to be trades like needle making, fletchering, bow making. People don't make things those days. But the city of London today has adapted to modern trades, but it has also kept its link to the ancient trades and ancient cultural heritage ways in which, like for example, so I'll tell you a bit more about what are the ways to get freedom. So for you to get any sort of freedom of the city, the only way is for you to be distinguished in some way. It's an absolute honor. It's the highest honor that the city of London can bestow, and it is one of the highest honor in the whole of the country, the whole of the UK. It's not it's not given to everybody, but that goes for any award. But then the major thing here is you can either choose to be a liveryman. Livery companies are trade guilds, shrenis, as we say in our Indian cultural context. So these groups, they came together as shrenis, like shrenis happened in India, guilds, and supported the king and the administration and the country in the ancient days. The same thing happens today. So these shrenis are called livery companies. There are 111 livery companies today. Some of them are modern trades. So we've got companies like every livery company is called the worshipful company because it is bestowed from the king and the Lord Mayor. So there are companies like needle makers, fletchers, and then there are companies like management consultants, more modern, information technologists, nurses, that kind of things, trade-based things. And a lot of these companies who are very ancient from the 12th century, 13th century, whose trade is no longer in practice, find ways to engage with the trade as much as they can. Like, for example, needle makers is one of the liveries that I'm part of. I'm a needle maker and a fletcher. I've been admitted into 2 courts, 2 companies. So in the needle makers, they do this thing where needle making is no longer a trade today, but they connect with the medical community and the medical use of needles. So they channelize their charity, their contribution, their purposes to that cause. So that's one good cause, like needle-based medication and needle-based work like stitching, embroidery, dressmaking. These are things they support for charity causes. Fletchers do a lot with people with disabilities who go to Olympics, Paralympics. So at the Fletcher's Livery Company, Worshipful Company of Fletcher's, we fund a lot of Paralympics for archery, and we support schools as well. There are about 6 schools that the Worshipful Company of Fletcher's run in the most underprivileged areas of London. So these are all, this is all good cause, charity based. But the essence of the Livery Company is to be a bit of a powerhouse, if I may call it that way, to bring people together from various walks of life, businessmen, ministers, even former Prime Minister Theresa May. She's a liveryman. We all come together in the informal setting of the livery. All people from all walks of life discuss policy, discuss the country, discuss other things that we want to, and try and channelize the progress of the country in a direction that we think might be right for the nation at that point of time. So it is a bit of I wouldn't call it a lobbying thing, but it is a place where you influence. So that's the Livery Companies, and they do a lot of charity as well, as I said to you. Charity, good cause, giving back, heritage, customs, and that sort of thing. But then coming back to the freedom, the freedom is a one-time award, once in a lifetime award, and that freedom is when that freedom is bestowed on you, it is again you are inducted into the Lord Mayor of London's court and the King's court and the Monarch's court. So you are a traditional nobleman minister. So the essence of the freedom is, if you noble. One of the things why I absolutely love the freedom of the city is nobility is not a birthright anymore. So even if you are not born in a noble family, and if you don't have blue blood flowing in your veins, if you are capable of it, you can still be a courtier, you can still be a minister in the court, you can still have the same kind of experience, same kind of opportunity to do good for the country, like someone who's born with blue blood in their veins has. So by the concept of freedom, we've now kind of effectively abolished the concept of blue blood. So nobility is not a birthright; it is earned by your deeds, and it is earned by your character, which is why Freedom of London is very, very special. So there are other awards like OB, MB, CB, that is like Padma Awards, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan. But that is a recognition of an individual effort, which is bestowed by the king. But after that, you don't have any continuity to that. But this is one award, this is one recognition where you have a lifetime of service, you have a lifetime of attending court, making decisions, contributing. You continuously need to contribute with this award. Like once you got a CB, MB, OB, you're like, okay, I got my recognition, and you can move on to the next thing. But this is a continuous process. This is a lifetime commitment. I'm mentioning the Lord Mayor quite a few times. Let me tell you the difference. London has an elected mayor and a Lord Mayor. Lord Mayor is a ceremonial position. It is appointed by the monarch. And their mandate is to be the global brand ambassador of London, bring investments in. It's not like elected mayor looks after your roads, your policies, your city. Typically what your local administration does. But the Lord Mayor is more into investments, being a global brand ambassador, connecting with, building relationships, connecting with different parts of the world, and all that sort of thing. So Lord Mayor was recently in Mumbai and Delhi for some investment summits. So he goes all over the country, all over the world, all over the place, all over the world. And basically he's in charge of brand London. So that is the, and on the pecking order, Lord Mayor of the City of London is number 2 after the King or the Queen. After them come the royal princes. So what happens is, by virtue of being a liveryman and by virtue of the freedom of London, I now have the eligibility to stand to be a Lord Mayor at some point in the future, should I wish to. I can put myself up in front of the council. They will elect me or not. This is another story. But I have the eligibility to, at some point, if I feel I need a change from the civil service career, which I don't think I will for now, but I can actually put myself forward to be a Lord Mayor because I've got that eligibility. I'm on that candidate shortlist. So what you get as a liveryman is you be on that candidate shortlist to be a Lord Mayor. So next week, incidentally, we are having the Lord Mayor's show on Saturday the 9th. Lord Mayor's show is the annual. Lord Mayor's tenure is 1 year, every year. And the Lord Mayor's show happens in November, where in a silent ceremony, the next Lord Mayor takes over. The next one who's elected to be the Lord Mayor by the council takes over from the previous one. We are having the 696th Lord Mayor next week, taking over from Michael McNally. Is a world-renowned scientist. He was 695th. And we have Alistair King, Deputy Lieutenant, very good friend. He's taking over next Saturday. So at some point, actually, people have been talking to me about, saying, when you get saturated with the civil service, which I know you will in a couple of years, you come here and do this, because there's an elaborate step of doing this. So you start as a liveryman, and then you become warden of your livery company, become master of your livery company, and then become alderman, sheriff, and Lord Mayor. It's a bit of a pecking order to climb. So I'm on that journey, but not claiming that I will be Lord Mayor someday, but there is a possibility. I've been put on that shortlist eligibility. So I can continue service in whichever way I wish to. I've got that privilege by way of this award. And this award is the Lord Mayor of the City of London is equal in rank to the Prime Minister, ceremonially. So Prime Minister is elected, but this person is ceremonially chosen, but it's an equal rank. That is why he comes number 2 after the King or the Queen. So it's a 1-year thing for everybody, but it's a once in a lifetime opportunity as well. So that way, how I got this freedom of London, people ask me, how did this happen? I don't know, because apparently 2 people nominated me. I had a proposer and a seconder. You will never know who nominated you, because that's kept discreet. So even for this, we have a very funny tradition in this country where even when you get CB, OB, MB and all that, you don't know who nominated you. It's kept discreet for some reason. And apparently some of my colleagues from Parliament, maybe political, they pushed for this. And it happened. And I got admitted into 2 livery companies, by that way 2 courts as well. So now I'm part of the King Charles's Court, Lord Mayor of the city's court, Worshipful Company of Fletcher's Court, Worshipful Company of Needlemaker's Court. So this entangles into Lord Mayor's Court, but yes. So this is the possibility of contributing, the possibility of creating change, doing so much more for London is greater. So I've got a pet peeve why I am doing this while I'm in this circuit, which of course it's a lifetime commitment. I can't do it anything in, like, say, tomorrow morning. But one thing I want to do is to, London is one of the world's best places to live in. I mean, I absolutely love London. Like, I'm not saying because it's London, but because I've lived here, I've seen every bit of it. I love this city to bits. So unless I am pushed to, I'd never move to anywhere else. So this is my home now. So, but the one thing I've always felt is there's so much disparity in the city of London. Like, basically, look at places like Westminster, Chelsea. It's so jolly posh. The riches flaunting everywhere, palaces everywhere you turn. You go to somewhere like Barking or Ilford, you see poverty, impoverishment, starvation in the same city. Now, so I want, go to places like Elephant and Castle. People die of malnutrition. Elephant and Castle is about 35 minutes away from Westminster. So look at the disparity there. So during my service here with the city, I want to be able to do something to bridge those gaps and level up London in a way that the disparity is not so jarring. So every part of London should have that. Wherever you live in London, you should have a similar baseline standard. That's my passion. That's what I want to work for in this process. Because even in, I'm talking to you about Westminster being extremely glorious, but even in Westminster there are pockets, areas like Pimlico, Churchill Gardens, where you've got homeless people who have difficulties, blah blah blah. So we have a lot to bridge. So I want to build those bridges. That's my ambition, or that's my goal in this term. Whether I become a Lord Mayor, whether I become Alderman Sharif, that's for later. I may or I may not. But from this point on, I'm already started working on that. So that's my intention of being there.
See, in this context, I want to say something. It was my teenage ambition, influenced by the communist parties, that rich should not be rich, poor should not be poor. So the point what I wanted at that time was like Robin Hood, take away the wealth of the rich and share it with the poor. That was my one-time ambition as a teenager. As I grew up, I realized the rich in the country are not the rich of British era. The rich in British era were the supporters of the British Empire, and most of them were zamindars, and they were looting the poor. That's not the same case in present days. Today's rich is rich because of his or her hard work, smart work, and active lifestyle, balanced lifestyle. You can name anything and everything. A person with all this quality is eligible to be rich. A person without any of these qualities, like a lazy person, procrastinate everything, not studious, I'm not saying not studying properly, I'm saying not focusing on the career, not focusing on education that gives life, or not taking responsibility of the family or the society. Most of the poor are living as poor today in today's life generation, right? Not only in India, across the world. When we want to bridge these poor, not all poor, these categorized poor, which is more than 50% of the poorest community, when you want to bridge them with the richer class, the bestest way I feel is teach them to work hard. Stop freebies. Stop giving stipends. Whatever you name, you give. Ilavasam. No, nothing is free. Work hard and earn. When you make a lifestyle to work hard, as an Asian, as an Indian, how much hard work you are putting for your need, for your survival. Is that the same happening with them in the places where you are mentioning that they are living? Are they not getting majority of the items in free? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
see, I mean,
no, let me complete. So stop that and stop free. Half of your economical problems also will be solved. Then they will learn to work hard. You don't need to equalize them with the richest ones. You can make them live comfortably as according to their standards. The comfortable lifestyle gives stress-free lifestyle. Stress-free lifestyle brings a better society. Yeah, and then.
Yeah. I think there was a bit of a communication gap there, because I didn't mean to say that we are going to, get them at par uh, with the billionaires or millionaires or that community or anything. But, there is a basic living standard everywhere. People should not be dying of starvation. People should not be dying of malnutrition. Uh, people, those kind of things. See, basically, my thing is, we cannot make everybody a millionaire and a billionaire. It's in their own hands. But the thing is, what you need to live comfortably as a human with human dignity, you shall have it. That is my thing. Wherever you live in the city of London, you should be able to live with a certain degree of essential, basic comfort, basic level of dignity. That is sadly not the reality today. That is what we want to bridge. So not talking about money, freebies, benefits. There's 1,001 things entangled there, but there are broader issues, broader spectrum of things that we have to address. So that's that. And of course, brand London, getting investments, upholding, connecting to prosper, all that kind of stuff. Because at this point, the City of London Corporation, it's not a corporation, it's called a corporation, but it's not a corporation in Indian dictionary language. But City of London Corporation means the organization that administers the City of London. This whole City of London Lord Mayor establishment that we've got, there is an organization that runs it, right? So that's the organization called City of London Corporation. It's not a corporation, but it's called a corporation. So the City of London Corporation is actually much more financially comfortable than the Central Treasury, because they make so much more money because of investments, businesses, and that kind of prosperity. So we want to, what my idea is to replicate that model across the city in areas that is not traditionally. See, the City of London administration is strictly in the traditional area. So I want to take that way of working beyond the traditional area. That was the thing. It's not to say
idea.
that Robin Hood or I used to.
I'm not saying you will be the Robin Hood. I am saying that was my idea in a teenage. Because once you are a teenager, naturally you will be influenced by the communist parties, right? So,
well, you couldn't say naturally, but there's a good chance. So, yeah. So that's that. That's the thing about City of London. So I am a courtier.
Do you have that City of London? Any of the awards or anything?
I've got it, but the thing is, it's framed and it's too large to show on a screen. I am not sure we are.
Can you just take a picture and post it in the beginning of this podcast so that people can see that and then start the podcast?
Yeah, I've actually taken pictures and sent you. I can actually post those very pictures.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, because as I said, because it's too large. It's like a proper medal. You cannot show it on this screen properly. So that's that. The best thing about this city of London is the continuous contribution. It comes with a responsibility. It is not ఒకసారి అవార్డు తీసుకొని ఫోటో తీసుకొని చేతులు దులిపేసుకోవడం. Comes with a responsibility. Lifetime కి నువ్వు అది కీప్ అప్ చేయాలి. And then at the end of it, you've got something to look forward to. And as I said, nobility is not a birthright, and it is earned, which makes you respect royalty. At this point in time, people don't have respect for heritage or traditions, mostly because they think it is so coveted. It's not accessible to everybody. So why should I respect something that's not accessible to me? So if today nobility is accessible to me, then I will naturally come to respect it, because I have every opportunity to get involved. So that's the thing. So that's the way you make culture and heritage accessible to a lot of people. This award has got a lot of context and significance. I might get other awards in the future. Well, I may or may not, but this is going to be very special because there is nothing similar to this. There are different kinds of awards, but everything is a one time. Rest of the things are one time. This is a lifetime contribution. So that is the thing. So
that's so nice.
So that's so as I said, on the same day I joined the Worshipful Company of Needlemakers and the Worshipful Company of Fletchers. And then was so nice that day because I actually wore the Star of India that Lady Pamela Hicks very graciously offered me. I showed that in the previous video, but just in case for people who may not have seen it, I'll show it again. This is called the Star of the Empire of India, which ceased to exist in 1948, and this is presented to anyone who is from India and has served India or the crown during the imperial regime. And this ceased to exist in 1948 because independence happened and the British had no right to give this award. But this is a recognition that's given to service in India. And a few weeks ago, actually a few months ago now in September, I happened to meet Lady Pamela Hicks. Lady Pamela is Lord Mountbatten's, the last Viceroy of India's younger daughter. So her daughter, Lady Pamela was also lady in waiting to the Queen. So as you know, lady in waiting is like your Andarangatori kind of thing, confidant, basically. So the lady in waiting, Lady Pamela is now 95 years old. And her daughter's name is India. She loved India so much, she named her daughter India Hicks. She wrote a book on her mother's life. So, and I've got a Asthana bookshop. I buy from Amazon, I buy things online, but I'm someone who still loves to go into a bookshop, buy, browse books, smell the book, turn the pages and buy it. So I actually very, very, almost every month, whenever I find time, I go into Hatchards. Hatchards is a bookshop that's been around from 1797 AD. And it's a royal warrant bookshop. So royal warrant is a recognition given by the royal family to brands and businesses they personally use. So and it's been a royal warrant bookshop, and it's a lovely, lovely bookshop. It's a lovely story bookshop, vintage feels. and it's not very accessible, very steep stairs and all that. But I still managed to go in there for the love of the books, the collection, the rare collection they've got. And because I'm one of their most regular customers, they've got a lot of goodwill for me. Because after COVID, also, I was one of those people who actually went into a bookshop and spent my pennies to buy the books. So they've got that very good will for me. And whenever they've got important book signings or good events or nice rare collection of books coming, they give me a ring and say, would you like to come in and see? And when that's how I met Brain Lara when he was coming to sign his book a couple of months ago. So, and then when India Hicks was coming to sign her book, they know I'm from India and all that. So they were like, are you interested? I said, why not? Let me come and see, because it's close to my office also. It's Piccadilly. I mean, it hardly takes me 15-20 minutes. So I just took a bus and I went in, and surprise, surprise, Lady Pamela was also there. We didn't expect her because she's not very well, 95 years old. She came in a wheelchair. She couldn't, but she made it a point. She wore her Star of India. The Star of India was given to the Viceroy Mountbatten family for their service. She wore the Star of India, and when I said I was from India, we spoke. And then when she signed off all the books, she said, would you care for some tea? I mean, would you want some tea? She gave me 20 minutes to talk to her. And in the meantime, I think from the shop staff, she's inquired about what I do and all those things. And I was actually feeling very shy, because she told me how grateful she was for what I was doing. And I felt very shy in a way, like, you are a personality, you are history, walking history, and you're telling me you're grateful for what little things I do. It is, and then we spoke at length for 20 minutes. She told me something very poignant. Lord Mountbatten and their family, including her, were one of the last people to see Mahatma Gandhi alive, 20 minutes before he was shot dead, in Birla House. They were in Birla House. He was having tea with them, and then he went and prayed and came out. That's when that incident happened. 20 minutes, just 20 minutes before he was shot, this lady saw him in flesh and blood. So, and then when we got talking and all that, at the end she was like, I would like to offer you a little token of my grace. I said, whatever it is would be my pleasure. And then she actually wrote to King Charles, because these prints ceased to exist. They don't get printed anymore. She wanted me to have an exact Star of India medal like hers. She got it made. It's got King George V's picture, Queen Elizabeth's father, because he was monarch when imperial rule happened. Queen Elizabeth ascended to the throne in 1953, so we wouldn't have her picture. So his picture on there, and that's that. I got this thing. This ceased to exist in 1948. This was awarded for either for exceptional bravery or for most loyal service of the highest order. And I've got it now. Nobody's got it in my generation, or nobody else that I know apart from Lady Pamela has got it, and the family. So these things, this is not just for me. Both the Freedom of London, livery ship, and the Star of India, and these kind of things can be passed on to next generations. It's not like, getting a CB, MB, or Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan. Like, once you are gone, that is gone. It's not like that. You can pass it on to the next generation of the family as a tradition, as a heritage, as a mark of honor. So once someone from one family has had this honor, the entire family has been made honorable, that lineage. So that is the thing. So tomorrow I can pass on this Star of India. I can pass on the freedom of the City of London for my younger cousins or younger siblings to use, and they will have the same respect, same honor, and same dignity as I did. And that is the beauty of it. These things can be continuous. These things have come into existence from a point of view that they should not stop at any point. This is lifetimes of things passing through. That is, in fact, one of the reasons why I keep talking about things, talking about family, talking about individual people's lives and our family history and all that, is because I want to see who else might be interested. Because you will, I mean, you can decide what to give and what not to give to anyone you wish to. But these are things that I need to give to someone who is absolutely passionate about it, someone who understands this, someone who carries the similar feelings like I've got, someone who can feel like I got to shoulder the honor of my family. So I have got to find someone from the Khandan who can feel the same way and pass it down. Of course, there's a lot of time to do it. Actually, when Freedom of London happened, because most of the awardees are people who are well advanced in age, they have forms actually. When you sign the Freedom Declaration to say, you sign the form to say after you who should be nominated for it to be passed on. I said, keep the forms aside. I have not decided. I will come back to you when I've decided and when I know who it will be passed on to. And ideally, I would very much like someone from the next generation to say, I will own up to this. This is something that the Arbadi family, the Srinivasan family has got. So I will take it up. So I want someone to do this. That is also one of my little selfish reason to plug things in when I do these podcasts. So
it is nice, Rasika. It's truly nice.
Yeah. And one of the things I've been thinking about is also, if it's not enough if someone's just got the interest, I have to work with them to kind of mold them in that way to handle this. So I'm very seriously thinking about it, very seriously considering it, and hopefully it will be someone from our near and dear, from our family, extended family, who will be able to put their hands up and say, I am interested and I'd like to listen to you.
Time will decide. That is not enough. Time will decide. However, I want to say, I remember a Tirukkural. When you were too young, before starting schooling, you were actually going to Cherry's prep school. Always crying. Pre-KG or something of that, so 2.5 years, I believe. Since then, I don't know whether you remember or not. I remember I used to say this particular Tirukkural, and I used to say that that's how you should make me feel. That Tirukkural is, ஈன்ற பொழுது பெரிதுவக்கும் தன் மகனை சான்றோன் என கேட்ட தாய். தன் மகனை இல்ல, தன் மகளை. சான்றோன் இல்ல, சான்றோள் ஆயிக்கலாம் நீங்க. I really feel sometimes that I'm truly blessed. That is because of my Mantralayam visit during my pregnancy. I'm not giving the credit to you, however.
Well, I would be rather surprised if you ever gave any credit to me. Okay. First thing I will ask you is, Nalarkia, are you well if you give me any credit? Because it's so unnatural of you to give me any credit. But thank you.
No. Not that I should not give you any credit. When I was pregnant, the doctor confirmed, doctor also told, you're too anemic to carry a baby. The good advice is to abort. So within a week time, we've been to Mantralayam as per my wish. And I was just praying, God, I want to have this baby. In the Mantrayam Adhishtanam, I was sitting and praying, I want to have this baby. I was taking a bath in the Tungabhadra river, I believe. And I was taking a bath and I was praying, Tungabhadra, Mata, I want to have this baby. And once I'm back, magically the Dr. Prabhavati told, I feel you can have a chance, but you have to eat properly and put on weight. You are anemic. As per my suggestion, you should eat everything and then it will be fine, she said. So that was the magical. That is why the credit should go to the person or the divine appropriately.
Agreed.
God bless you. All the best.
So, thank you. And
இந்த அவார்டுக்கு காமராஜ் நகர் ஃபுல்லா லட்டு கொடுத்துருப்பா.
காமராஜ் நகருக்கா? கும்பகோணத்துக்கே லட்டு கொடுத்துருப்பா தாத்தா. அது நான் 10ஆவதுல மார்க் எடுத்ததுக்கே லட்டு கொடுத்தாளாச்சே.
நீ 10ஆவதுல எடுத்தது என்டிஎஸ்சில ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து லட்டு கொடுத்தா.
என்டிஎஸ்சில. So Amari, I actually miss a lot of the people that I'd have loved sharing this to, including Appa, Janaki Patti, Raman Tata, Bharat Tata. பல இருந்திருந்தா நான் I unfortunately for time constraints வந்து உங்ககிட்டயும் ராமமாமா கிட்ட மட்டும்தான் இதை பத்தி விவரமா பேச முடிஞ்சது. வேற எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் விஷயம், பட் நான் வந்து பர்சனலா போன் பண்ணி தேங்க் பண்ணி ஆசீர்வாதம் வாங்கி பண்ண முடியல. which I will do in due course. I will definitely do it. But these are people that I miss, and whenever because எனக்கு வந்து when on the day of the freedom ceremony, a lot of the people from the House of Lords எல்லாம் எல்லாருமே ஃபோன் பண்ணி கங்க்ராச்சுலேட் பண்ணாங்க. பரத் தாத்தாவோட ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் they actually said to me, I am speaking on behalf of Bharat. A lot of people said to me, a lot of people, ஒரு 4-5 பேர் சொன்னாங்க, I'm speaking on behalf of Bharat too. Congratulations. Many congratulations. அந்த மாதிரி so it is I mean, it's a very special moment and a very special honor. Of course, I've had the opportunity to serve in various roles in various ways, but everybody has served. அதுல எனக்குன்னு ஒரு என்னோட டீம் பூரா நான் பட்ட கஷ்டம் தான் அவங்களும் பட்டிருக்காங்க. பட் எனக்குன்னு இதுல ஒரு தேர்வு கிடைச்சு என்ன ஒரு இதுவா எடுத்து அவங்க பண்ணது வந்து it is a privilege. Sometimes you never know என்ன புண்ணியம் என்ன பிராப்தம் எங்க எப்படி அமைஞ்சது. Somehow it happened and I got to use this chance to do some good. And I will leave you with a good news that you will feel happy about. I haven't mentioned this to you earlier. இத நான் உனக்கும் பாட்காஸ்ட்ல சொல்லி ஒன்னே சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சேன். You remember the time when I was being asked to become a school governor?
ஆமா.
School governor means trustee of a school board. For wider audience oda interest kaga, and then to run it in that sphere. And I actually finally couple of weeks ago I said yes. I was postponing it because I didn't know if I'll be able to make time, manage properly, do justice to the role, because I don't take a role for the heck of taking it. I like to do justice. I like to contribute, because that is what Ramu Mama has taught me. One thing he has taught me in my life is I have to keep contributing till my last breath. If I am not, then there is no use of me breathing. Okay, so and finally I said yes. They've now matched me to a school, state school, which I am going to meet them, I think the week after. Next week is too busy. Next week after I'm going to meet them. I got the news confirmation this morning. Actually, this is a Sunday, but the lady she went on holiday, she came back and checked her emails. She got a confirmation, the council lady. So she was like, she gave me a ring and said, I just want to let you know you're in. So I'll tell in a very short form. I'll tell you why I wanted to do this at this point of time, and what my demand was. So I had one demand, that I will only be a trustee of a state school, government school. I will not work in a private school, because two things. One is, government school is where the work is needed. And two is, if there is a problem with the government school, I can somehow solve it. I can, pull some strings in the Department for Education, get things sorted. But private school, they say there is problem. There is nothing much I can do. You have to find your own thing. So it's not like I'm there for senior policy advisor, office of the Deputy Prime Minister is there. Designation la போட்டுக்கிறதுக்கு நல்லா இருக்கும். But பாக்கி I don't know how much I can do. But in a government school, I can இறங்கி வேலை செய்யலாம். Grassroots, I can do a lot. And one of the reasons why I chose this particular time to do this was the current government, before getting elected, they announced a policy where they were they were scrapping the VAT exemption on private schools. So private schools were initially being considered are still being considered as charities, as non-profit organization, and they don't get VAT, value added tax, sales tax, product tax. So that way, and Labour government, they came to say that we are going to introduce VAT because of the kind of fees they charge. They are not a charity, or they are not doing service to the needy and all that. So we are going to charge them. Right or wrong, I won't comment about the policy because I shouldn't. But one of the things is, there was a huge uproar in the country, because a lot of the working parents also put their children in private schools beyond their affordability. Mutti Modi, somehow they wanted to give their children a private education. They did second jobs, third jobs, part-time jobs to fund their children's education along with the main job, because they thought that is the only way their child is going to be given the opportunity. The child is going to progress. Government school போட்டா அந்த சைல்டுக்கு ஏதோ அவங்க ஏதோ படிக்கிற மாதிரி, அவங்களுக்கு ஏதோ துரோகம் பண்ற மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க. And I respect that emotion. நான் கேவில படிக்க தொடங்குற வரைக்கும் என்ன நீ கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்கூல்ல போட்டிருப்பியா, இல்ல நான் கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்கூல்ல போய் படிச்சிருப்பேனா? Every parent does that. But somehow, after being in government for so long, I'm an insider now. My blood flows government. So I feel like we put millions and billions of money into state schools. If parents feel state schools na ivlo mattamna, what is the purpose of putting so much money in? What is the purpose of running these state schools? எதுக்காக நம்ம ரன் பண்றோம்? சீப் இவ்வளோ கேவலத்துக்காக நம்ம ரன் பண்றோம் அப்படின்ட்டு. அது மாதிரி, so I said, this is time. I want to understand what the problem is. I want to go down to the grassroots, find a problem, because I don't get bound by a department. Although I'm paid by only one department, I work in all departments. You know me, and you know how that works. So I was like,
hardest part, I agree. Yeah.
I was like, దూసు పోదాం, చూద్దాం, ఏదొస్తే అదే వస్తుంది, గ్రౌండ్ లో దిగి పని చేద్దాం, we'll find the end of it. So the reason I am now trustee or school governor is because I want to find out what the problem is and address it, and make parents not feel bad about putting their children in state schools. And especially from the communities like Indian community, where you feel education is very, very important, they feel utterly humiliated if their child is in a state school. So I want to solve this problem. I mean, VAT or no VAT is a Labour Party problem. I won't comment about it. But this grace should be resolved. That is why I am becoming a school governor at this point of time. That is my mission.
Good.
So I am leaving you with a good, sweet news. Good news. I deliberately didn't tell this to you since morning, because I wanted to tell this in a podcast and see you getting
nice. Which school it is?
So they've chosen they've given me a list of 6 schools in the area. So I've got to pick one school. So I'm going to visit all 6, and see which one is like where I can contribute the best, and then
that's good. That's good. Nice.
So
good.
So
Nice
your
conversation.
your interest of me being in the school sector, education sector, is also getting fulfilled in that way. I'm doing something for.
My long-term wish was that you should become a teacher like me. Since you bluntly
Actually, Ram,
realized that some contribution to the teaching field makes me very happy.
yeah, actually, Ramakrishna sir used to say that. Ramakrishna sir, he used to come to class every and ask very often, ఏమవుతారా మీరంతా డాక్టర్ అవుతారు ఇంజనీర్ అవుతారు లాయర్ అవుతారు టీచర్ ఎవరు అవుతారా నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ కి ఎవరు మీకు మేము ఉన్నాం రా మా తర్వాత వాళ్ళకి ఎవరుంటారు సో but somehow we couldn't bring none of my classmates, we couldn't bring ourselves to get to a teaching career, but some kind of contribution to education sector is what I can give back to you and my teachers who've never given up on me.
That's good.
So very soon I'll be starting as a school governor, trustee of some school, trying to solve out some things which are long term, but we'll start somewhere.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you very much. And with that good note, I've got to head back. I've got to rush back. So goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Lovely talking to you. Thank you for taking time for 2 slots of podcast today.
Also. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.